Here's the thing, I don't mean talking to strangers, go and talk to that rando on the street who clearly does not have any good intentions. No, I don't mean that guy. I mean the people that you come into contact with in your daily life, people who you might know, you might not know, the guy at the gym, the girl at the gym, etc, etc. And so here's the thing, we've heard it so many times, do not talk to strangers, stay away from strangers. But in all factuality, you're going to know when to stay away from a person based off the vibe that they give and based on the context of the situation. So here's the thing, it's all about breaking the ice. The longer you go without talking to people outside your friends and your family, people that you already know, the harder it actually is, the more awkwardness there is behind that thing. That's why the longer you go without cold approaching, the harder it's gonna get. It's like with any skill, the longer you don't do it, the more rust you're gonna get. And then when you get back to it, you just need a few more trials to just break the ice once again. I love this concept of breaking the ice because it's just so true in every aspect of your life. There's always this ice between you and everything that you want to do, and you just have to break it again and again. So enough yapping, let's get into this video. Example 1, I was sitting in the sauna, there's a guy sitting next to me. What is my natural instinct? Don't talk to that guy, stay quiet, stay silent. Whatever you might say might be weird, maybe you shouldn't speak, maybe the question, the way your voice sounds is weird. This is the socially anxious brain, and this is exactly what's holding you back from being a social bird, from being socially comfortable and charismatic. What did I do? I did the exact opposite of that. I broke the ice and I opened with a contextually based question where I just asked, do you come to the sauna often? This is an obvious question. He knows it's obvious, I know it's obvious, but I asked him that just to break the ice. It's a friendly question, and he just responded back with, very enthusiastically, very openly, oh, I love the sauna, I come after every single training, it's so good for recovery, muscle growth, etc, etc. And the conversation begins. Now I'm talking to somebody, we're having a nice conversation, and then that's it. The conversation ends and I eventually leave when I have to get out of the sauna. That's it. It's the simple things like that that literally give so much meaning to your life. It's so funny because you may be sitting there next to that person thinking, what if I say this? Well, how is it gonna sound? But the other person is completely in another world. And people are in their heads. Most people are in their heads most of the time. And the funny thing is when you talk to somebody, you're actually helping them get out of their head, escape their own mental state. And who wouldn't want that? That's why people like to talk to other people. That's why it's so nice to talk to people, because by talking to someone, you're helping them physically get out of their head. Think about any person who's come up to you and talked to you and just opened this nice conversation. You know, you were in the conversation, then you realize that you're not overthinking anymore. You are not in your head. You forgot all about what you were worried about. And that was a good feeling. It actually genuinely felt good. And that's why people like to talk and they like to converse and they just like to be social. Because there comes a pleasure with being social that is unmatched by anything else, because we're humans and we like to be social. Moving on to example 2, I'm at the gym. This is a very small example. It's not really a conversation. I need to use the machine. There are 2 girls at the machine. I could just go, and keep in mind, in all of these situations, I could just stay silent, close my mouth, not say anything, just act mysterious, but that's not the point. So I wanted to use the machine, so I asked these girls, how many sets do you guys have left? Very simple question, no commitment, nothing. It's just a question. And of course they answer, oh, we have 2 sets left, don't worry, whatever. That's it. End of story, finished. Consider the 2 situations in every single social environment. You either keep your mouth silent, you don't say anything, you don't ask the question that's in your head, you don't talk to that person. Okay, big deal. You don't have to talk to people. You can just go back home, you can just live your life, continue, move on, and whatever. Now consider situation 2, where you actually go out of your way, you make small talk, you talk to people, you open them up with a nice question, you smile at strangers, you say hi, you say hello to strangers, you break the ice. Which version of you is gonna benefit more or profit more? There is no benefit whatsoever to avoiding social interactions and being socially isolated. There is no benefit. There's only negative drawbacks. It's exactly the opposite with social interactions. There are only benefits from talking to people, from being sociable, from opening up conversation, etc. So that's my question. Why wouldn't you do something that you know is gonna benefit you, you know it doesn't have any drawbacks? Why? Because it's scary. The only drawback of being socially open, charismatic, is because the voice in your head always tells you to overthink what you're gonna say. It always tells you to, what if this is not the right thing? What if I look weird? What if I talk weird? What if I sound weird? All of those things are just ego. Ego. You need to crush your ego. You need to break your ego. As soon as you completely shatter your ego to the ground, your social anxiety is gonna disappear. Your anxiety is not even gonna exist anymore. You see everything. You see the entire perspective and the entire view of the way everything is. And that's the absolute beauty of just shattering down your ego to the ground. This is gonna happen in a timely process where you don't even see it, but slowly you're just chipping away at your ego until you get to a point where you can easily go and talk to random strangers and enjoy their presence and talk to them, not from a place of being scared that they're gonna say something, that they're gonna judge you, but no, being completely full within yourself to the point where you go and speak to them and you're enjoying their energy, you're enjoying the presence, you're present. That's what it means to be present. Now I'm gonna move on to example 3. So yesterday I was in a washing machine room. I live in dorm, so it's the public one for all the students. And there's a guy waiting. I could not have said anything, I could have kept silent, I didn't need to say anything, I could have went home. My life just moves on, I move on, etc. Doesn't matter. But what did I say? I just opened my mouth and I said, are you also waiting for a free machine? And then he's like, yeah, I'm also waiting for a free machine. And then I ask him a follow-up question. Oh, is it always like this? Do you always have to wait for so long? So it doesn't matter what you say, honestly. It's just a conversation. You just have to break the ice and speak. You can say hi, you can say hello, you can smile. It doesn't matter what you do, honestly, because at the end of the day, it just comes down to opening your mouth and saying something. So now he asks me a question. I ask him a question. It's back and forth, it's a conversation. It turns out this guy's studying the same thing as me. He's in the same university as me. What a fun coincidence, right? I wouldn't have spoken to this guy if I hadn't just opened my mouth and said the most simplest thing. That is how many opportunities you are gonna miss when you just don't talk to people, when you just wanna isolate yourself socially, you wanna avoid those social interactions, you're sitting next to somebody, you pull out your phone and you act like you're doing something, you go on Snapchat, you go on Instagram. For what, you know? You don't even know why you're doing it, you're just scared avoiding these social interactions. That is genuinely something that once we get this thing out of our life, this stigma that we can't talk to people, we can't talk to strangers, it's just gonna improve your life so much. Go and talk to more people. I'm preaching to myself basically. I'm telling myself, go and talk to more people, go and open with cold approaches. You might meet the woman of your dreams. You might meet a 1 in a million woman who's attracted to you, who's attractive, who you're attracted to, who's the perfect woman for you. You might meet a future business partner, you might meet networks, you might meet people that might save your life. You don't know. You never know until you actually put yourself out there, you talk and you seize those opportunities that are there in front of you. How many times did God give you the opportunity where there's literally a girl who's actually interested and attracted to you, looking at you, and you don't seize the opportunity? The opportunities are there, and sometimes it's even hidden opportunities that we ourselves have to have the courage to go and approach, or with friends, or with social networks, or with this or with that. The opportunities are endless, and the more we realize that we just need to get out of our head so we can talk to people, so we can be social, so we can live our lives comfortably and meaningfully, and that's it. I'm gonna end this video right there. I think that was a good ending to the video. Become the person who could have saved their younger self. And you got this, bro.